My name's Bree Perez, and I am welcoming you all to my very first episode of my Thankful Thursday podcast. And I'm also welcoming everybody to episode 1, Go Where You Grow. Have you ever walked into a room or met with a group of people and you just kind of felt off, like there was a weird vibe, but you could just never really put your finger on it? Well, those are the kinds of people you meet whose unique personalities help show you who you do and don't want to be. Think about it. Every person that you meet teaches you something. Some inspire you to be kinder, more confident, and just, generally more you. And other people show you behaviors, attitudes, or values that don't align with who you are. But overall, both of those lessons from different personalities are equally valuable because they help shape the person that you're ultimately becoming. For example, I used to have an old friendship where I was kind of forced to do everything that she wanted to do rather than what we both wanted to do to have fun. Whether that be putting ourselves in danger for the sake of just having fun, or her tricking me into spending money on things that money should not have been spent on. Everything that we did together was always for the sake of her own benefit. But of course, with who I am, I went along with it at first, trying to be nice and live a little. But over time, those fun activities became draining. And it really opened my eyes to the reality of what that friend really wanted out of me. They wanted me to spend the money. They wanted me to get in trouble. They wanted me to be irresponsible and risk my life. Now, that's an example of an environment that a person definitely cannot grow in. Instead, it's more of a lesson towards the future, which is to be smart about, your circle and who you surround yourself with. In comparison to another friend I have who always makes sure that we don't go too long without seeing one another, who is always checking up on me, celebrating my wins with me, and sees me for who I am while supporting me through everything I go through, and is always listening to what I have to say. Now, that's an example of a good friend, a positive value, a positive person in my life. Sometimes growth isn't just about finding a good crowd. It's about recognizing what doesn't and does feel right, and using that awareness to kind of guide you towards the environments and the people that bring out the best in you. So yes, it definitely can take you a while to figure out where you belong, where your place is in the world, whether that be in life, friendships, career, and so on. But your environment definitely influences you and can determine your future. Because also growth, it does require the right environments, such as people who motivate you to continue to be a positive influence and push you towards your goals. I like to bring up this example because I feel like it makes you look at life in another different aspect. You gotta think about it like flowers. Growth is kind of the same as flowers, because flowers need specific conditions to be able to grow and thrive, just as humans are able to thrive from receiving the proper support and encouragement from others. There's far way more opportunities in a positive environment. I used to work as a camp counselor for a couple of years, and it was never really my thing, but I stuck with it because that's kind of what everyone else was doing. Every day I felt like I was just dragging myself to work, and the environment just kind of never really felt right for me. It just felt off all the time. Eventually I left that job and I started working in upholstery, and I started doing film, and I started making my own videos, and I saw all the people that it was grabbing and the attention and just the positive impact that it was making on other people's lives. And specifically in upholstery, I'm gonna go back to upholstery now. I walk into work every day and, these guys are smiling, they're laughing, they're happy to see me, they're giving me like fist bumps, they're playing their music, and, everybody's just locking in for the day. I didn't really realize how much an environment could affect me until I experienced the difference firsthand. Now, being in a place that uplifts and motivates me has completely changed how I feel about going to work, compared to a job I previously have had where I just slowly felt myself slipping away. Which is another example of going from a negative to a positive change. Because now I don't feel myself being dragged to go to work. I feel myself excited to go to work, excited to work with the guys, and then excited to do my own content creation when I have that chance too. That also brings me to another point, which is not everything is meant for you, and that's completely okay. But if something's holding you back, it may be a sign to just take that step back, take a deep breath, and think about other spaces where you can learn, develop, and flourish in what you want to do with your future. This thing I just cannot stress enough about, but you have to be willing to move beyond your walls and your comfort zone in order to reach your full potential. I know it's so easy. It's so easy now to just want to sit at home, just be where you are and not take that extra step towards what you want to do with your life, or just that extra step towards making the connection or seeing this person or doing that thing that you've been really wanting to do. But you have to move beyond your comfort zone in order to reach that full potential. Your environment influences your future, and the things that you do influence the next step that you're going to take towards your future. The people that you spend time with and the communities that you're a part of can either hinder or help your growth. And that'll wrap up my first episode of my Thankful Thursday podcast. Go where you grow. Stay tuned for next week, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your week, and happy Thankful Thursday. If you stayed this long, thank you for staying this long. I want to give a little insight on what Thankful Thursday is and what Thankful Thursday means to me. Thankful Thursday is something that I've been doing since I was in high school, which was only 2 years ago, but still. Ever since my sophomore year of high school, I've been writing little sticky notes every single Thankful Thursday. I'll hand them to random people in the hallway, I'll give them to teachers, my friends, random students. I'll put them on the mirrors in the bathroom when I can, obviously, just to remind people that they're loved, they're valued, they're cared for, and they look stunning, because people deserve to know that. And if I can make somebody smile in any way that I can, if I can make somebody's day by just doing those little things, that means the world to me. It's anyone that I can hand them out to. It didn't matter who you are, but I knew that if somebody saw that message, of course at first they would be a little skeptical, but once they read it, I just saw the smiles across everybody's face, and that made it all worth it. So ever since I started doing that my sophomore year of high school, I just never stopped the tradition, and now I've wanted to branch out and take it online, be able to spread my messages every week in any way that I can, reach a certain audience, and just remind people that they're not alone. They can make the change, they can grow, we learn, we change, we develop, we flourish in any way that we can, and I feel like that's beautiful. And yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really glad to be continuing my Thankful Thursday traditions. I know it has inspired so many people throughout my life. It has made people's days so much better. It has saved lives, and I want to continue to be the positive change and help people learn and grow in any way that I possibly can. It just feels good to inspire people and even save lives in aspects. It just means the world to me. So I'm really excited and I'm really happy to be continuing my Thankful Thursdays online as well. Stay tuned for next week. Peace, love, happiness. That's Thankful Thursday.